And we'll begin with a security update, where bandits have reportedly killed 7 persons in 3 villages of Logo local government area of Benue State. According to reports from local sources, the separate attacks were carried out by suspected headers on Sunday in Mcha, Arufu and Chembe villages of Logo local government area. A community leader in one of the areas, Joseph Anawa, said the killing at Mcha took place in the morning, adding that some corpses have been recovered while some persons are still missing. Anawa, who further stated that the second attack took place at night between Arufu and Chembe villages, added that the bandits shot at a commercial vehicle heading to Ioza. He said passengers suffered various degrees of injuries following the shooting and are now at a hospital in Ain. Chairman of Logo local government area, Adagbe Jonathan, who confirmed the attacks to journalists in Makurdi, the state capital, said 7 bodies have so far been recovered from bushes by locals and the police. The police spokesperson in the state, Sewese Anene, was yet to respond to inquiries at the time of filing this report. Still on security matters, bandits have abducted an unspecified numbers of travelers at Dogo Fili near Katari along the Kaduna-Abuja highway. Katari is under Kachia local government area of Kaduna State. A resident of Katari, Suleiman Danbaba, said the incident happened around 7:33 p.m. and the bandits wielded AK-47 rifles emerged from the bush and blocked the 2 lanes. According to Danbaba, the bandits opened fire and deflated the tires of some vehicles, forcing drivers, including commercial vehicles, to stop. He said the bandits forced travelers to alight from their vehicles at gunpoint before moving them into the bush. Another resident of Jere, Samaila Shehu, said the incident, which happened a distance of 1 kilometer away from Jere, led to the abduction of over 30 travelers. Shehu said it was quite unfortunate that despite the presence of soldiers and policemen along the highway, bandits still blocked both lanes and whisked away travelers unchallenged. The Kaduna State Police Command was yet to react to the latest kidnap incident at the time of filing this report. Now, the Commissioner of Police in Ogun State, Abiodun Alamutu, on Tuesday in Abeokuta, confirmed the abduction of a 70-year-old man on December 31. According to Alamutu, the man, Adeife Felaja, is an elder at the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Ijebu-Ibo. He was kidnapped while on his way to his church's crossover service held on New Year's Eve. The Commissioner of Police assured that operatives of the command were leaving nothing to chance to ensure that the elderly man was reunited with his family. And now more to security matters. The Imo State Police Command says it has bust a criminal den that may lead to apprehension of those behind the kidnap of a road safety officer, Sabinus Ugwebu, and former Ezemo, Samuel Ohiri. Both victims were kidnapped few days ago at different locations in Imo State. The police spokesman in the state, Henry Okoye, who disclosed this on Tuesday, said police operatives in collaboration with the military made the breakthrough when they stormed the criminal hideout suspected to be an IPOB and ESN camp at Ihite Owerri in Olu local government area after a gun duel. He said after a protracted gunfight with the alleged IPOB and ESN members, an unnamed suspect was apprehended while others escaped with gunshot injuries. He added that other items recovered include 1 pump-action gun, 2 double-barrel guns, 2 single-barrel guns, 54 rounds of live cartridges, military uniforms, 6 motorcycles, and a box containing locally made explosives. He reiterated that the command will not rest until the kidnapped victims are released and the culprits brought to book. And on to Kwara State, 10 persons have been confirmed dead following a fatal accident involving a bus and a truck in Kwara State. Reports say the bus was on its way to Sokoto while the truck was heading to Lagos when the accident took place. The incident occurred around 6:40 a.m. on Monday along the Oloru-Okolowo axis, involving a Volvo truck and a Toyota Hiace bus. 20 persons, 15 males, 4 females, and 1 child were involved in the crash. Those who lost their lives include 5 women, 4 men, and a child, while the remaining 10 persons sustained various degrees of injuries. The state commandant of the FRSC, Stephen Daulung, who confirmed the incident, attributed it to wrongful overtaking by the driver of the truck, leading to a head-on collision. He also said the injured victims have been taken to General Hospital, Ilorin, while the bodies of the dead were deposited at the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital morgue. The Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the appeal filed by the Governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, seeking to overturn the verdict of the Court of Appeal, which nullified his election. A 5-member panel of justices, led by Justice John Okoro, reserved judgment after hearing arguments from parties for and against the appeal. The governor, through his counsel, Kanu Agabi, prayed the court to uphold the judgment of the tribunal and set aside the judgment of the appellate court because the respondents have no right to question how a party elects its state executives. He said the respondents, the Ntawe Goshwe, and the All Progressives Congress cannot plead that the governor did not score the number of lawful votes ascribed to him. At the same time, say the election was invalid. The APC and its candidate, on their part, argued that Mutfwang's People's Democratic Party is in disobedience of a valid court order that directed them to conduct congresses in 17 local governments, but only conducted in 5 before going into the March governorship election. A federal high court in Abuja has fixed further hearing for March 4 in a fresh 1 billion naira suit filed by detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, against the federal government and 3 others. The others are the Attorney General of the Federation, the Department of State Services, and its Director General. Justice James Omotosho rescheduled hearing in the fundamental rights enforcement suit following the absence of the applicant's lawyer. At the mention of the case, no lawyer announced appearance for the applicant, while the respondents were represented by 2 lawyers, Enoch Simon for the federal government and AGF, and I. Awo for the DSS. Simon informed the court that his clients were only served with the hearing notice and had not been served with the suit's originating processes. The lawyer said he was in court out of respect for the law. Upon listening to the lawyers, Justice Omotosho adjourned till March 4 for hearing and ordered that a hearing notice be issued and served on the applicant. The Plateau State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Oliver Gundu, on Tuesday visited the State Police Commissioner, Okoro Alawari, seeking adequate security before, during, and after the upcoming by-elections in the state. The by-elections are scheduled to be held on February 3rd. The Electoral Empire has scheduled a by-election for the Bassa Jos North Federal Constituency and the Plateau North senatorial position following the nullification of the elections of the member representing the constituency in the House of Representatives, Musa Aga, and Senator representing Plateau North Central District, Simon Mwakdo. The REC, along with his management team at the police headquarters, highlighted certain security concerns, including potential threats to the electoral process, possible acts of violence, and the need for effective security measures. Responding The police commissioner assured the REC of the commitment of the entire command in ensuring a safe and secure electoral process. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Still ahead. Nigerians react to planned tariff hike. Details of this story and more to come after the break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Join us for the 21st Daily Trust Dialogue and presentation of the 2023 African of the Year. This year's theme, Tinubu's Economic Reforms, Gainers and Losers, will be chaired by Dr. Shamsuddin Usman, former Minister of National Planning. Guest speakers, Wale Edun, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Dr. Victoria Akai, Immediate Past Director General, Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Comrade Joe Ajero, President, Nigeria Labour Congress. This event takes place at NAF Conference Center and Suites, Kado Expressway, Abuja on Thursday, 25th of January 2024, 10 a.m. Attendance is free, and you can watch the live broadcast on Star Times Channel 164 or Nicomsat free to air. For sponsorship, branding, and participation, please contact 081-5176-4600 or 080-3392-8902. Don't miss this insightful dialogue shaping the economic landscape in Nigeria.
Should I keep quiet? And then we kept saying, can't we teach these people basic business, not hustling? Teach our people entrepreneurship, not hustling. Go to China, Guangzhou, different districts. They can turn fair. Am I saying what you don't know?
So this about this thing.
Yeah, but this time around we are talking about appointment of ministers, where there is an express provision in the constitution as regards that.
Let's come to appointments. You know, it is the status of FCT that the constitution has made it too complicated for people to understand.
However, if you are to go backwards and do a kind of audit, you will be shocked to find that the resources so far expended on the SDGs far outstrips the achievements face to face.
Most of the time when you are involved, it's difficult for you to draw back and have a holistic view. Because what? Sentiment would always come to play, because all of us would definitely, I had, like I told you yesterday, I was 100% convinced that you cannot say you are qualified without bringing any document.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying. If you're just joining us, this is a Trust TV News Update. Now let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that bandits killed 7 in Benue community. 10 killed as bus collided with truck in Kwara State. And now moving on to other stories. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Education, will on Tuesday set up an inter-ministerial committee to combat the activities of degree mills. The ministry's Director of Press and Public Relations, Ben Gong, made this known in a notice sent to journalists in Abuja. The activities of degree mills once again came to the center of discussions in Nigeria following an investigative report by reporter Umar Audu with the Nigerian daily newspaper on the activities of degree mills in Benin Republic and Togo. The reporter revealed how he obtained a degree within 6 weeks and even proceeded to embark on mandatory youth service under the National Youth Service Corps scheme. Audu, who reached out to the syndicate that specializes in selling degree certificates in December 2022, graduated in February 2023 and was issued a Bachelor of Science in Mass Communication certificate from the École Supérieure de Gestion et de Technologies, Cotonou, Benin Republic. The report, which exposed the illegalities perpetrated by some tertiary institutions in the West African states, led to the Nigerian government placing a ban on the accreditation and evaluation of degrees from Benin Republic and Togo. Telecommunications services subscribers may soon start paying higher for calls and data as operators seek the federal government's approval to increase telecom tariffs in the country. If the telco's request is granted by federal government, Nigerians will pay between 10 and 15% more than the current tariffs, according to sources of the Nigerian Communications Commission and Ministry of Communications. Aisha Abdullahi takes it from here.
According to the Nigerian Communications Commission, the country has around 222.5 million telephone customers at the end of 2022, with over 215 million active mobile phone subscriptions. Mobile phone services play a pivotal role in the socio-economic lives of Nigerians on a daily basis. Although sources say the expected tariff hike is yet to get the green light, deliberations are on the way to weigh its impacts on the lives of consumers across Nigeria.
It's going to affect us so much. Even previously, we are trying to manage how we can attend some of our seminars. Our meetings online is not easy. Increasing more of the tariff of data is going to really cause a lot of damages to us, because the economic of this country is not really helping. You see how people are struggling how to survive. So it's not going to be easy.
About changing the code, when it really affects me when changing the code. Because over my mom at home, she have to call me, even call me on WhatsApp call if she don't have this thing airtime. She call me on WhatsApp call there, which code they use in buying data. So all these things, making calls and the network is not good like that. Then increasing the daily plans now, which is data, it really affects me.
Sometimes they will be complaining of network, something. You buy data of how much? 2,000 naira. You have not even reached the specific date they give you, either week or the thing will just finish.
I think it's not a good welcome development. The reason being that every Nigeria makes calls. And that is one thing the common man always benefits from the government per se. And if they are going to increase it, it's going to affect virtually everything that the common man stands to benefit from the government.
It's going to turn negatively on our business and our private life. So life is becoming unbearable. It's becoming difficult for everyone in Nigeria already with the increase in PMS and gasoline, diesel. So now that we go to call again.
For most Nigerians, a hike under the current economic climate will only further compound a dire situation. For now, it remains to be seen whether telecommunication service providers will get their wish to hike the tariffs. Efforts to reach the NCC for comments on this development were unsuccessful. Aisha Abdullah, Trust TV News.
The Dangote Petroleum Refinery on Monday announced its readiness to commence production of refined petroleum products as it received the 6th batch of 1 million barrels of crude oil required by the plant for its initial operations. It said the fresh 1 million Agbami barrels of crude was the last cargo to complete the initial scheduled 6 million barrels consignment to be delivered to the Dangote facility for the commencement of operations by the world's largest single-train refinery. Exactly a month ago, Dangote Refinery received the first 1 million barrels of Agbami crude grade from Shell International Trading and Shipping Company Limited, one of the largest trading companies in Nigeria, as well as globally, trading in over 8 million barrels of crude oil per day. Since then, Dangote Refinery has been receiving the crude oil in batches, and the 6th batch of 1 million barrels of crude got discharged on Monday at the single point mooring at the Dangote offshore oil terminal. The managing director of Dangote Ports Operation, Akin Omole, had told newsmen at the Dangote Quarry, Ibeju, Lekki, Lagos, that the refinery would be in good stead to commence operation once the 6 million barrels of crude had been delivered. We'll go on a quick break now. The news will be back shortly.
Rest of Africa, stand and make sure that our people understand. And the story of the OAU can be told and retold. It cannot be denied that it made a contribution to the process of decolonization of the continent in many ways.
Ethiopia is where it is today in no small part because of the tireless efforts of the African Union and the wisdom of its deeply held belief in the principle of African solution to African problems.
The bulk of African countries were under colonial rule in 1945. So they did not take part in the negotiations that established the Bretton Woods institutions.
So Cameroonians are anxious, Cameroonians are impatient, Cameroonians are like, oh, many of the guys are not talking today. You can read it all over the social media.
Egypt has officially declined to accept fleeing Palestinians for fear that the more Palestinians we accept across the border into Egypt, the more trouble there may be for the country in the nearest and farthest future.
Welcome back, and we move away now from Nigeria. Gabriel Attal has been named France's next prime minister as Emmanuel Macron aims to revive his presidency with a new government. At 34, he is the youngest ever prime minister in modern French history, outranking even socialist Laurent Fabius, who was 37 when he was appointed by Francis Mitterrand in 1984. Attal replaces Elizabeth Borne, who has resigned after 20 months in office. Throughout that time, she struggled with the lack of a majority in parliament. Gabriel Attal, who is currently education minister, certainly makes an eye-catching appointment. He will now have the task of leading the French government into important European Parliament elections in June. Still on the foreign scene, the death toll from the powerful earthquake that flattened parts of central Japan on January 1 crossed 200 on Tuesday, with just over 100 still unaccounted for. The 7.5 magnitude quake destroyed and toppled buildings, caused fires, and knocked out infrastructure on the Noto Peninsula on Japan's main island, Honshu, just as families were celebrating New Year's Day. 8 days later, thousands of rescuers were battling blocked roads and poor weather to clear the wreckage, as well as reach almost 3,500 people still stuck in isolated communities. Ishikawa regional authorities released the figures on Tuesday, showing that 202 people were confirmed dead, up from 180 earlier in the day, with 102 unaccounted for, down from 120. On Monday, authorities had more than tripled the number of missing to 323 after central databases were updated, with most of the rise related to badly hit Wajima, with heavy snow in places complicating relief efforts. As of Monday, almost 30,000 people were living in around 400 government shelters, some of which were packed and struggling to provide adequate food, water, and heating. We move on now to sports, and in football, Chelsea fullback Jan Martsen has agreed to join Borussia Dortmund on loan until the end of the season. The deal does not include an option for Dortmund to make the deal permanent. Chelsea accepted a £31.5 million bid for Burnley for Martsen in the summer, but he did not want to make the move. The Blues are likely to be open to selling the 21-year-old in the summer as they look to comply with financial fair play rules after heavy investment in the last 3 transfer windows. The Netherlands under-21 international has made just 3 starts this season, with a further 12 appearances off the bench. During a loan stint at Burnley last season, Martsen played an important role in the Clarets winning the championship title and was named in the league's team of the season. Chelsea are open to signing a striker in this window, but are unlikely to spend the money it would take to bring in Victor Osimhen from Napoli or Brentford's Ivan Toney. Mauricio Pochettino's side take on Middlesbrough in their EFL Cup semi-final first leg on Tuesday. Britain's Imar Raducanu withdrew from a charity march on Tuesday that was part of her Australian Open build-up. The 2021 US Open champion is set to make her Grand Slam return next week in Melbourne after missing much of 2023 following ankle and wrist surgeries. Earlier, original opponent Naomi Osaka pulled out and was replaced by Donna Vekic for the march at Melbourne Park. The charity march, the first of 4 scheduled to take place in the lead up to the start of the Australian Open on Sunday, was later cancelled. World number 2 Carlos Alcaraz and Australian number 1 Alex de Minaur meet on Wednesday. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. I'll see you again.